What do we do? This? Ooh, sun's coming through.
What?
All right, is that looking right? Can you tell me? Language 5.0. Will you let me know if that's oriented right?
Language 5.0 is the naughty person yesterday.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Princess.
The sun's coming through. Good morning, you guys. Just trying to finish getting this set up. Hold on. Let's see. All right. Good morning. Dan is on his way in. We're gonna do a question and answer this morning. So, good morning. We are on Instagram and YouTube. So, just trying to get this all set up. Sun is peeking through. It's snowing outside. Crazy, crazy. All right. Good morning, you guys. Thanks for being here. Oh. We are gonna get started here in just a second. And Dan rolls up. So we are going to do a question and answer this morning. We're gonna just leave this open to everyone today so we can talk about our subscriptions and our weekly live chat. So typically we're going to be doing this weekly live chat with just people who are subscribers on Instagram and members on YouTube. Sorry, let's get this all oriented. But today, while we're still trying to get this set up and get people to sign up for memberships, we're just gonna do it with everybody. Okay, you're not in this one at all.
Not yet. We'll work on it.
Let's see. All right, we are doing good. So today's a question and answer. If you, we're gonna answer, let's see, hold on. All right, we're gonna answer questions that have been chatted in on comments. I've got them here on my laptop. But if you have any burning questions for us in real time, let us know.
Only the burning ones.
Let me scoot over still a little bit. All right. So for those that don't know, we are Dan and Andrea. Dan is paraplegic. He broke his back in an accident 9 years ago, construction fall. Together we have 6 kiddos, and we started this page in February. We started kind of pushing it and just wanting to get some hope out there to everybody. And so it's kind of blown up, and we're excited that you guys are all here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
So, let us know. Hello, Yosinku. All right, so on YouTube, members are the only ones that can chat. So if you have a burning question or want to chat in, hi Stephanie, then you can go to our main channel and click on the join button. It's $2.99 a month, and then you can have access to all these things. So, and it helps out our family. So we're appreciative of all you guys that have joined. A little on the quiet side.
This side's going.
All right.
Moving.
Okay. I'm gonna go get my. Let us know how you can hear us on the Instagram side, and I'm gonna go get my microphone for the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting all the toys out. You get things going here, so. Sorry, I didn't get Carolyn Henderson. He's an amazing, great dad. Thanks. And Jersey Nurse. You're both an inspiration. Hey, yeah, you guys feel free to hit the thumbs up and hearts and all that good stuff as we're going along. If you're not throwing anything out here, or there's a lull in anything you're doing, feel free to do that. It just helps the algorithm out. Yeah, Stephanie, thanks. We've got way too many stockings across here now. It doesn't really hit you until you start getting things out like that, and you're like, holy crap, we got a lot of kids. I think it was Easter. We got in a habit of, or a ritual of getting stuffed animals for all the kids, and went over to the store at like midnight. You say, we didn't think that the kids were that interested in it, and then they were all talking about how they were. And I was like getting the stuffies for the girls, and there's like 30 of them or something. I felt like I was grabbing off the shelf, and it just hit me how many kids we had. It was pretty cute. After the fact.
Seemed like a lot of stuffed animals.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Good morning. Jean Angel.
All right, let's start out. Speaking of kids,
Coming from a 56-year-old father and grandfather, dialysis patient in Dole. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
all right, so somebody asked the question, how many kids do you have? So let's explain real quick. Lots of you have heard this before, but
Carolyn just made a point out here that your wife is adorable and amazing. She's an amazing girl.
thanks.
Goodness.
I'm gonna answer this one because most of the questions are probably for you. So this is one I can answer. So together we have 6 kids. So when we got married, Dan had 2 girls and I had 2 boys. And they're only 3 months apart. So Dan's girls were both born in November. My boys were both born in February. And at the time we got married, they were 3 and 8. Mine were 2 and 7, about to turn 3 and 8. So together, through in vitro fertilization and the miracle that was, we've had 2 little girls. One's 3, one's 1.5. One's 3.5, one's 1.5. They're about 21 months apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so currently we have 16, 15, 11, 10, 3, and 1. So 6 kids that we raise here together. And then some of you have seen or heard mention of Dan's oldest daughter. He has an older daughter that's 22 and married that we have not raised together. So, but he does have a daughter. So 7 total. And then I guess I should mention I have a bonus daughter too. Her name's Chantel. She's from my previous marriage and she's the half sister of my son, and I love her dearly, and she's got 3 cute little babies. So we love Chantel. So all inclusive, we've got 8 kids, but we raised 6 together. Lots of kiddos, lots of love, lots of craziness, lots of fun and joy and heartache and trauma as a parent.
Yeah.
Teenagers cause trauma.
The teenagers, gosh, what
I got
happened?
PTSD from my teenagers.
I hope everybody else has like a
Hey, thanks for
hard
upgrading
time.
your membership, Language 5.0. Dan, read the comment above mine. Hey, where are you guys from? I'm in Spokane, Washington. I would love to donate a lab puppy to you. Oh, that's so nice. I'm not sure that we could handle a lab puppy, honestly, but that is super, super kind of you. We actually live in Utah. I was born in Spokane at Fairchild Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And then Dan was born and raised in Utah. I was a Air Force brat. My dad was in the military. I went to high school in Germany at Ramstein Air Force Base. Went to middle school in Japan at Misawa Air Force Base. And then before that, lived in South Carolina and Utah and Alaska. And I was born in Washington. Our babies are still getting over their coughs, lingering coughs.
She's
So,
like getting into like a
hello
cold
from
again.
Germany. Hello, wie geht's?
Yeah.
All right.
Germany.
Let's see.
Can you plug that in?
Let's
Yeah,
find
plug
the
it in
next
for you right
question. Okay.
there. Just push this
So
right here
some of
for
you may
her.
have seen
Or not.
the video that we did. Do you have Uriah's? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I don't know if I do.
Some of you may have seen the video that we made that was showing us at Home Depot buying a bunch of wood. And I asked people to guess what we were making. We got all kinds of things from ramp to gazebo to playhouse to all kinds of things. But we, Dan, primarily, will be building a master bunk bed for the girls' room. We're gonna have 3 girls sleeping in one room, our 11-year-old, our 3-year-old, and our 1-year-old. And so he's going to build an amazing bunk bed / little bit of a playhouse
Thing.
situation. We haven't decided the exact design yet, but we've got a room full of wood that's taking up all the space and needs to be started
Just a minute,
soon. So
sweetie.
keep your eyes open for that. That'll be fun. What's up?
I'm a pen. I'm a rainbow one.
You want a rainbow pen?
I don't know where his
Oh.
phone is. Do you know where
Can
that
I
is?
have it?
All right, if I can figure out how to use this MacBook, I can get to these questions. Here we go. All right, a question that people commonly ask us a lot, especially on Dan's, on the videos where Dan is in pain and having his adhesive arachnoiditis flare-ups. Oh, that rainbow
Yeah,
pen?
you can hold that.
Cool. We've got kids, that's just our life, so excuse the chaos and
It does get a little bit.
we just do. We're gonna just do us, so you're gonna have to
You get to
see our
get a
real
little
life and
taste
all
of
the jumping in and outs. But
life.
so a lot of people ask Dan if marijuana or CBD oil will help him. And we've actually had several kind people that have seen our videos that have companies that do CBD oil, and they have sent some of their products for him to try. Unfortunately, so far nothing has helped. He's tried RSO, he's tried all kinds of different concoctions of CBD oils and creams and gummies and all kinds of things, and nothing has even noticeably touched the pain. So we wish it would. He's also, at one point, several years back, when he was had a crazy infection in his spine that we had yet to figure out, but he was in insane amounts of pain. He did try my sister's medical marijuana vape pen, and it kind of made him feel high, but didn't take away his pain at all. And then more recently, he was taking some CBD gummies, and we were at Walmart, and all of a sudden he's like, "Babe, I feel super weird. I don't know what's happening. I feel crazy. I feel my head's like crazy, my blood's whatever." And so he got his package of CBD gummies out that someone had sent us from their company, and realized, I read the ingredients and realized that they had THC in them, and you were supposed to start with half a gummy, and he had taken 2, so he was feeling pretty crappy and crazy for several hours. It's kind of funny and entertaining, accidentally doing that, but again, didn't take away his pain at all, unfortunately. So thank you everyone who's always trying to suggest different helps for that. We really, really appreciate it, and are hopeful that someday one of the suggestions will help. Sorry, I just got a text message from Dan's sister, Sarah, that says she's on and said hi. Sorry we missed your hi. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for being here. We missed you. Okay. Dan's trying to get baby situated, so I know you're all here for him. He's the main show. Yeah, she does have a bad cough, so she, hi Z. She's at the tail end of a cough and just has it lingering like they do. So she was sick all last week, but now she's just got this lingering cough that won't go away, as does our son. All right, you know, let's see. Make sure the live chat's on here. All right. Okay. Dan, do you want to come over here and answer questions and I'll help her?
I will be right. Here I come. Here I come.
All right. Someone asked on one of our videos where Dan was standing kind of propped up against the countertop, somebody asked how he was standing. Which is a great question. Some people have accused him of not really being paralyzed because they see his legs kind of jumping or moving a little bit in some of our videos. The definition of paralysis is if any of your extremities are affected at all with movement. So he is paralyzed completely from his knees down. His ankles are just floppy. He can't move his toes or ankles or knees, or doesn't have any muscles that work in his calves or anything. He's got a little bit of movement, a few muscles that fire off in his quads and hamstrings. He doesn't have any glute muscles that work, or his hip. Oh my goodness, we're going down. Sorry, Dan's trying to squeeze back in here. Yeah, so when he props up against the counter, he can kind of lock his knees out and lean against the counter. And that is the way that he can stand. Get this resituated.
All right.
So it's a huge, it's crooked. It's a huge blessing for him that he has what he does have. I'm super thankful. It helps him like prop himself up to get into the car and to be able to stand up and kind of hold on to the counter just so he can stretch out sometimes and all that kind of stuff. It's a huge blessing to have what he does have in that regard.
Yeah, I use it. I use it all the time. Just go
What's
get
she looking
toilet
for?
paper. Go get toilet paper. Bring a roll of toilet paper in. She's looking for tissues. Box of tissues.
Let's see.
Or there's that box of tissues I put by your bed. Just leave that right there so that it can charge, and then we'll fix it in a second. Mommy can help you.
All right, so this one is for Ashley.
Mommy
She's in
help you.
England, and I told her that we would, I'll go help her. I told her we'd answer her question on live today. So the question is, how can people still make babies when they're paralyzed?
Okay.
What's wrong?
Ditches me on a good one. And she's frustrated that the phone's not working, hon. So the answer to that question is pretty complex, and it is all over the place for people. So how can people still have babies if they're paralyzed? That's a good question, and it varies for everybody. I know that there are still a lot of people with spinal cord injuries that have some different levels of function on their lower half, and some of those men are able to still we're gonna use our big word classes. They're still able to ejaculate and still have sperm, and a lot of times with paralysis, your sperm, for whatever reason, are affected, and they're affected in the fact that they will swim slower. They're not affected in any other harmful weird way. You can see our girls are pretty normal. They're pretty cute. It's just there's just different varying degrees. Sometimes people with a spinal cord injury can get somebody pregnant without any help. As far as in vitro type work that we had to do, we had a complicated work on both ends, so we ended up doing the in vitro to help make things better. Where's mommy? There's a phone. There's a phone right. Grab that one right there. It should be good to go.
Oh, it's not charging. Do you have any idea where your eyes is?
No, we got it.
So the connected charger will take longer to charge. To charge faster, use the original charger cable that we provided with this one.
Yeah, and let's see. So the rest of that answer, it is so variable. It's kind of all over the place. For us, I needed to be able to have the help of in vitro because I can't ejaculate that way. So we had to retrieve the sperm another way, which was a whole crazy science miracle on how they were able to do all this. So yeah, we still have frozen sperm. We're still trying to figure out how to just end that story now that we've got our babies. I don't imagine that we are going to do anything else, add any more family members here, so probably done with that. But it's a complicated, long answer, but anyways, yes, people with a spinal cord injury could still get somebody pregnant even without any other additional help. It just depends. Everybody is so different. Each injury is so completely different. Yeah, there's just not one set possibility or one set answer on any of our injuries. So it's just really crazy.
What is this thing? Oh, did you explain what in vitro was?
Okay, so no, I didn't really explain what in vitro is.
I'll explain it. So with in vitro, outside of your body, they take the sperm and the egg and they put them together and an embryo hopefully grows and they create that embryo, and then through a series of millions of shots to the mama to get your body ready hormonally to carry a baby, you do that, and then they put the embryo in and hope that it takes. So we've been blessed twice with that miracle. So
Jersey Nearest wants to know how Andrea is dealing with her disease.
all right, so someone on Instagram is asking how I deal with my disease. For those of you that don't know, I have MS. I was diagnosed in 2009, I think. And for the most part, I've been super blessed to not have it progress very much. I've had a few different relapses that affect me a lot with fatigue. I was thankful enough, my little sister has MS as well, and she had researched and found a diet. It's called the Swank diet, named after Dr. Swank, Swank. And it's basically like an anti-inflammatory diet with whole foods and low saturated animal fats and good fats. Taking good fats, not taking bad fats.
Like
Anyways.
drinking oil, you guys. That's what she means is like WD-30 or 40, like you drink. No.
Yeah. No, like olive oils and avocados and those things that have like good fat, good healthy fats. Anyways, I've been able to manage it pretty well through diet. When I am not eating well, then I start to get symptoms. My joints and body hurts all over. My eyes go fuzzy and blurry. I get super fatigued. MS is, thanks Stephanie, MS is multiple sclerosis. It's an anti-inflammatory disease where basically your immune
Autoimmune.
system, autoimmune disease, and your immune system kind of attacks itself, so it affects everybody different. A lot of people experience fatigue. At one point, I did have, like, my left eye was losing most of my vision. Went super blurry with a condition called optic neuritis that is common with MS. At one point, my left leg would like disappear out from under me, and it would feel like I didn't have a leg, like every couple of minutes for like 15 seconds at a time. Just random stuff.
Isn't it-
Some people end up having to use a wheelchair. Some people end up blind. Some people end up with lots of fatigue, and you know, a lot of people can handle it. I've been super blessed to be able to handle it, but I do deal with a lot of heat fatigue.
Is it usually more rough with men, right, than women? Like,
Yeah, I think generally men usually have progressive forms of it, and I have relapsing remitting, which means the symptoms come on strong sometimes, but then they'll eventually go away for the most part. So
the other part of that is with the MS, and correct me if I'm wrong, you'll develop lesions, like little attacks on the spinal cord, on like your nervous system, either in your brain or in your spine. It's been really strange with Andrea. She's, I think the last scan that she had, where she had a bunch of lesions, there were like 5 of them or something in your brain and spine.
there was like a cluster
Yeah.
in my brain.
This was when we like had forgone, like weren't doing the diet stuff at all. It was earlier on in our marriage, and then Andrea got focused again on doing the swank diet, and we've gone in for 2 follow-up MRIs now, and like they can't see any lesions at all, which they say isn't supposed to happen, but yeah.
Yeah, supposedly
It's
the
really
lesions
crazy.
can't go away once you, but I am a firm believer in diet. Like, it makes sense to me that what you put into your body is what makes your body function. So if you eat good, your body will function better. All right, let's move on. So this is a big one for you, babe.
Oh.
Susan asks, I want to know the secret to never letting your fate define you and your success. There's a reason some strive and some succumb to their problems. What is that answer?
Wow. Yeah. Delve into the world of deep here. So, never letting your.
So what's the secret to not letting your fate, as in your paralysis, your never walking again, potentially not affect your, not succumbing to it and being able to succeed through it?
So, yeah, the secret to that. It's, my gosh, I know for me, like, it was all about the attitude for. You know what you need, sweetie? A tissue? Okay, there you go. Need me to help pull a tissue out of the box for it. For me, sitting in that hospital, sorry, it took me back for a minute. I had to kind of get deep on this question as to what was any type of good answer. I know when I was in the hospital and just realizing different degrees of what had happened, it was really frustrating, and definitely I don't think I dealt with the hard parts of it up front. I was just really focused on staying busy and focused on something or someone else besides my current situation. For me, it was I had my 2 girls. I was in the middle of a divorce proceedings when I had my accident. My divorce actually finalized like a month into my accident having happened and being in the hospital. So for me, I was really determined to make sure that I was there for my girls. So I stayed super active and busy, and tried to stay focused for them. I still had hard days and times when I wasn't doing something, or just like after I got out of the hospital, if I didn't have my girls, or I just like kind of sit and stare at the wall and kind of contemplate, like, oh my gosh, like, now what? This is part of why we ended up doing this video stuff that we're doing now. Like, we had back then, when I was looking online, I didn't find much in the way of support or hope, any hopium type things. So we wanted to kind of create that to help those who were missing that little part. But it was just staying busy, staying focused, and trying to gosh, one other part is really humbling in the hospital too. The other part that was so humbling was seeing how much trauma, how much bad stuff comes people's way. While I was in the hospital, I saw people that were in far worse condition than where I was at, and I think that was super humbling to the point where I kind of picked up my burdens, picked up my load, and carried on a little bit quicker. It really was a humbling experience to see that as well. So
Seeing that like makes you really thankful for what you do have. Like,
yeah, it was,
so seeing someone that, even somebody that's paraplegic from the waist down or whatever, but they don't have the ability to lock their knees out so that they can stand to lift themselves into the car. Like those, you become thankful for like the little things that wouldn't seem like they matter much, but
yeah, yeah. There's so definitely like it's well, there's a lot of psychological stuff to just trying to be grateful and humble, be happy for where you're at, and focus somewhere else outside of yourself. Like it'd be easy to get centralized and distracted that way too, and just be a victim of the world, and go internal and push everybody out and all that stuff. So yeah, the secrets, I guess, to not go internal that way, to stay active and kind of fake it till you make it, kind of force some of that external activity and participation in life still, and then eventually I feel like even on those days where I was by myself and dealing with everything, that it kind of would catch up and stay positive more often. So yeah, hopefully that's a good enough answer. It's a hard one to try to really piece together. Yeah. Are you answering on that one?
somebody says, why so many kids?
You know what? Gosh dang. Honestly, so I don't know if that person has kids or not. This is kind of different on everybody, because the weird thing now, I didn't want to have kids originally. Like, it wasn't really in my future outlook on stuff. I would have been fine. I felt like not having kids and having a dog and just going out and doing whatever. So I mean, everybody does it themselves, I guess. But then now later on in life, especially with the challenges that we went through bringing our two littlest ones into the world, like I realized, gosh, like for me and for us, like I'm wishing that I was younger. I'd started earlier, so I could have had a couple more. And I mean, it's just life is fun. It's busy when you got these little ones to raise and see where they're going. Like,
There's so much joy. Like our baby just, especially when they're babies, man, she just makes us smile. Like ear to ear all day, every day. So I think we've both said that, like, if we were younger, we'd keep having more kids, but now that we have teenagers, I'm not sure that that's true anymore.
So you say, asking if we have a GoFundMe. Yeah, sometimes it's like, wait a minute, what do we do?
All right, someone just asked if we had a GoFundMe, which the question I have pulled up here on the laptop, which I see all the time, is how can we help?
We're always asking.
So this has become like a full-time gig for us. It takes hours and hours and hours and hours to edit the videos, which you would never think, but man, it takes forever to edit the videos, and to be able to get on here and read through comments and respond to you guys and answer emails. And we spend hours on the phone. Usually every week Dan spends a few hours on the phone, talking to people that that need help, either with arachnoiditis pain or
New injuries.
just new injuries, or just need some hope in life. Anyways, it's become a big thing. So Dan actually quit his job. We felt prompted to. We feel like this whole thing has been led by God, which every day we see why, because we get so many kind comments from people that have been touched by our videos and things. But
Yeah.
anyways,
so
Dan quit his job. He was having a hard time. He had kind of a office job, and it was making his pain a lot worse, just sitting all day and not being able to be active and stuff. Anyways, all that to say that the biggest help that that you guys can give to us is financially. Not that we're begging for money, or not that we're desperate for money. We have everything we need, and but we are doing this full time. So we're trying to figure out now. We're just on the verge of like being able to monetize it, and these memberships are helping. So those who have signed up for memberships, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then we do have a Venmo account. If you go to www.thewheelchairdad.com, you can find links to all of our stuff. Our Venmo, purchasing merch helps, and then you get cool merch. Show them your
Yeah.
t-shirt. Punch today in the face. That's the line we have currently. We're going to come out with some more. I own a skincare company called Belpo Skincare. We have amazing organic products, so you can find a link to that on our website as well. So anything like that. Dan's medications every month are several $100s that insurance doesn't cover. And we do have,
About
just
$600 a
expensive,
month.
expensive
And
things.
meds that
But
don't get covered.
anyways, so if you're in a position and feel so prompted to send some money our way, and or sign up for a subscription or purchase merch or
Or
whatever,
whatever.
it's always appreciated.
Or just being here, getting more people to
Sharing,
share.
liking, subscribing, sharing our stuff, like anything like that. This is a crazy world, this social media influencing world we've thrown ourselves into. But
The growth has
hopefully-
been so phenomenal. You guys, like our online social family is like exploded at such a exponential rate that it's like unreal to be from February when we started this to now. We're like between the 3 different platforms, not even counting Facebook that has stuff too, but like we almost have like 900,000 ish followers. So, and it's still growing every day. It's just insane. So
someone wants to know, where did it go? Can't they cut the nerves or
thanks,
burn
Christina.
them? So for those that haven't seen, Dan has extreme nerve pain. We've talked a little bit about it. It's from a condition called adhesive arachnoiditis. So there is a procedure for some people with nerve pain where they can burn the nerves, but why can't they do that for you?
So the reason why they can't do oh gosh, I just forgot the name of that procedure that you're talking about. So they
Rhizotomy?
so the rhizotomy is part. Yeah, so with nerves and general nerve issues, your nerves do have like sending and receiving parts of them, and so they're able to actually tell which nerves would be receiving or which ones cause or receive the pain signal. And with the rhizotomy, they can burn those so that it helps immensely. And actually, one of my old coworkers, she would go in and do that every so often, and it'd help her out. But the problem I have with that is all of my nerves are in my spinal cord. They're so clumped together, and the complicated part of it also, where right at the end of your spinal cord at the bottom, kind of where the tailbone is, um, about right where my injury L1, and then down you have, like, it's called the conocoid. It's a stands conocoid. If I pronouncing it correctly, it stands for the horse's tail, and essentially it's just like saying that all of your nerves look like a horse's tail, like just tons of strands everywhere. Like essentially everything's so clumped together, scarred together, that they can't uh, differentiate any of them. And if they start trying to do work like that with the nerves, it just ends up causing more damage and more pain.
And he could lose the little function that we've
The-
talked about that he has that helps him be able to stand and lock his legs out
Yeah.
and different things like that.
The other
Stand
extreme,
propped against something, not just stand.
the other extreme case of that would be to just have my nerves completely severed, which we've talked about too. Like when my nerves were at when the nerve pain was so strong, like we were looking at everything. I was like, amputate my legs if that'll help. Like, can we just like cut the nerves, like cut the spinal cord? Like, what are we gonna do?
Which it wouldn't help to amputate. That's another question we get sometimes.
Yeah, the other thing, yeah, with amputation stuff, then you have to worry about like ghost pains and like still feeling like everything's there, but it's not. So it's even more psychological and a big trip. But for even if we had cut,
At YouTube too.
oh, okay, I keep going back and forth, right, guys? Tell me, I
Alright.
keep going back and forth. But even if I was to cut it completely, um, the fear would be the ghost feelings of the sensation still, or the fact that sometimes people do things like this and then it triggers it even worse, and then like you've I've like lost all the function that I would have had, and then
That'd be crappy.
the pain would have been or the same or more. It'd just be such a slap in the face to not be able to do the things that I do. I really am blessed as far as a spinal cord injury goes, with being able to have the little bit of function with my legs like every day. Seriously, like I'm so thankful to God that I have what I have. Even to just transfer to the toilet, it sounds so simple, but like it makes such a big difference to be able to do what I do with like the little bit of movement I have, and then and I've had to work my butt off to get it, and just it's not like I just got left with it. There was a time when my legs didn't do anything at all, and I had to work super hard to make anything of it, but I just worked my butt off to try to keep them where they're at, and try like heck. Every time I go to the gym, I'm exercising my legs too, which kind of cracks people up when they know that I'm a spinal cord patient and that my legs aren't supposed to work, and I'll be on the leg sled machine with my hands on my knees, like trying to push my legs while my legs are up on the thing, trying to push it with no weight on it, just to like make my brain think that we're working out. And I don't know. Anyways,
All right, here's a fun question. Can you tell about your tattoos? They look super cool.
which tattoo? Nah, I'm just kidding. So my tattoos, the main ones that I have exposed out here, I really have always loved the traditional Polynesian like work that I've seen through the years.
I can't see them
I
on
have
YouTube.
oh, so see up there. So I have just some of this traditional Islander type work through here with the let's see, like with the warrior band with these markings through here. The rest of this explanation on this tattoo, I have German and Irish background, so I have a really good, amazing family friend that does the tattoo work. So Fred Frost is phenomenal. Check him out on there too. Is amazing, but he does so many people's work. So he was the genius behind it when I told him I wanted to incorporate my German and Irish heritage into some of like his traditional work that he does and is from. We came up with this, and it, it just came as he was working, but it's got like the Irish Celtic knots through like parts of it. Sorry, trying to get through here. So there we go. I feel like the weather guy where you have to do everything in reverse or whatever. But so I have that, and then like a lot of the calligraphy type work that I associate to like the all the stonework statue stuff. Like you see a lot in like Germany and whatnot. Like the same with the lion head on here. The lion head has all sorts of other meanings to it as well. Just to be courageous and going on in this fight of life. But so that's the main part of that. Up here, I do have an old tattoo that,
Tell what that is, huh?
yeah, it's really faded out. But
Show your
I had,
daughter's faces.
yeah. So there's Quinn's face on there. Kind of hard to see, but and then on the back of this arm, I have Michaela's face. It's like so hard to get to.
Stretch.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there she is. Okay, so
Right here.
definitely wish I would have done better placement now that I'm further on in life. And then I have this big rose in here, which is oh, see, it's so hard. I need like a professional film crew. You got this big rose one in here is
Where's our staff when we
for-
need somebody?
is for Andrea. It was some cover-up work on another tattoo, but the tattoo that's there is for this love of mine over here.
And what did
And,
it cover up?
I don't even remember. I don't know. What was
Let's
it?
just say that every night when I laid on his arm, I was snuggling with his ex-wife's face, and I wasn't super excited about it.
But it wasn't like a mural. It was like her face was like ripped off. It was like when I was.
I love his ex-wife,
She's a good.
but when we first got married, I
Person,
was
right?
not excited to snuggle on her face every night.
I thought back then that it was gonna be okay even if we weren't together forever in life, because it was like had her like face ripped off halfway, and like it was like for when I was like motorcycle dumb younger guy whatever. So anyways, Andrea still didn't like the representation, so we got rid of that. But yeah,
All
and then I
right.
had- this one was St. Michael's and the devil battling. So when I was in law enforcement, that was my
Ooh.
symbolic tattoo of what I was doing in life. Is something that was really important to me back then.
All right. And speaking of these guns, somebody wants to know if you can bench press your wife.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I can bench press Andrea.
You can bench press triple me almost.
So right now, before my injury, I used to bench like 455 pounds. So that in guy world, right now I'm back up to like 365 pounds bench pressing, but it is slow. I don't get to the gym like I used to. My focus is my family really, and then that's just a bonus that I have the time in the gym, and definitely a blessing from God that I have the strength that I do when I go to the gym, because I don't deserve that. I don't work out enough for it, I swear, but that's where we're at now. So Andrea weighs like 50 pounds or something. So
125-ish.
125 and a half. So I'm just kidding.
The half counts when you're talking about my height.
Oh, okay. I was just, yeah. I was trying to give me
125 and a half pounds, guys.
That's for the people
be
that thought that
exact.
125 was like too easy. So, anyways.
Alright. I love watching your channel. It's full of love and family time with kids. Are you able to spend time alone together? You two seem to have such a strong bond. What things do you do for each other to keep that cohesion? So, um, one thing that we do is weekly therapy.
For real.
That's
Right.
a necessity, especially when we have 6 kids and we're like passing in the night half the time and really have a hard time. It is hard to keep that connection when you've got a stressful life with 6 kids.
Not
It's not
saying
easy.
that you need therapy like any relationship. Like
You-
we have a lot of
I think you need therapy
trauma.
in any relationship.
Probably doesn't help. Probably would help. I mean, but like we both, this is our third marriage for both of us. We both have traumatic experiences that in relationship like that make things difficult. So
Yeah.
it helps. We haven't done that forever, but
And blending
the-
families.
yeah, that's the other part. The blending of the families and is like a whole nother batch of
And
holy
the
crap.
trauma of how we came together. I mean, Dan
Yeah,
has
so-
obviously trauma from his accident. And for those that don't know my story, if you go to thewheelchairdad.com, you can find a link to some podcasts where we explain more. But my last marriage ended in a super traumatic way. So we've got a lot to deal with, a lot of baggage for both of us. But
Well, weekly dates is the other side. So
Yeah.
you've got the therapy stuff helps to be able to like have somebody else navigate some of the different things, struggles that you can come into, but finding time away from the kids, like there's so many different things that I've read, that we've read, that we've learned along the way that, you know, you don't want your relationship to be focused on your kids. I know for me that was really hard in the beginning because I'd been divorced and remarried before. I was like, my kids will always be here. Like, who knows? Like, whoever's by my side will come and go. Maybe, I don't know.
which
There you
was
go.
not exciting for me
Yeah.
to hear.
She didn't like that. So,
I was very upset when he told me that.
but it is.
I mean, I get it. I get that. I get what he was saying, but I'm like, you just think I'm disposable?
It's important that your kids see that you're in a loving relationship with your spouse, and then they see all of that, and then like it helps pull the whole family together, teaches
Yeah.
them what is acceptable and what life should be like as well. And then
Yeah, if we're on the same page and on the same team, then our kids are much better off for sure. So one of the things with this whole online stuff, it's really difficult. I'm the one that does like edits all the videos and puts everything out there. It's really difficult to navigate between not throwing all your garbage on the internet, we can't like, I don't ever want to put my kids in predicaments where I'm like talking about them in ways that they wouldn't be excited about or whatever. So, we leave a lot of our personal baggage off of the internet, for obvious reasons. We do have struggles in our marriage. We do have struggles as parents. We have struggles individually. We're human, and it's really hard not to like portray perfection. We get comments sometimes. In fact, we had a comment this week that I was like, man, this comment really bothers me. It's like a super nice comment. Like, oh, you guys have the perfect marriage, basically describing us as like a Disneyland prince and princess, and like, oh, it gives me hope that that's out there. I mean, we have an amazing relationship. We are so blessed. We have a beautiful family. We have, we have a great thing going on, but we're not perfect, and we don't have, it's not smooth sailing every day. We have lots of struggles. And so, yeah, it's hard because I don't want to portray perfection, but it's really hard not to when you can't and don't want to out like all your family business on the internet. So
you
just-
start, like,
just
recording
know.
when I know that you're gonna be pissy and crabby, I'll just have the camera going. Be like, hey, this is live, by the way. Now, can I go to the gym? I'm just kidding.
yeah,
I'm just
let's
kidding.
do that. That's a great idea.
No.
So-
yeah, we've got
Yeah.
we
The weekly
balance it
dates
out.
though,
The weekly dates
Weekly
is
dates
seriously
are-
so important, and then
like necessary to keep that cohesion between us, right?
yeah, and then there's definitely other things that I feel like are important for develop or keeping that connection.
One of the things is like hugs, right? So I was
Yeah.
we figured out this week, it's really hard when one of you is standing at 5'8.5"
And a half.
and the other one is sitting at 4'2.5".
We haven't measured.
I don't know, but it's hard. It's hard to hug. We used to do where I would like sit on. I mean, a lot of times we still do where I like kind of straddle Dan's lap and hug him and lay on his shoulder. But my head ends up being like way above his head, and it just is kind of awkward. So, one of the ways we found to hug is if I stand next to him. We have a really tall van, and if he's sitting in the van and I'm standing up on the outside, like my head perfectly leans against his chest right here, which feels so nice and feels like a hug. So we try and do that whenever we stop for gas and I get out to pump gas.
It's a good thing
While
that
it's
van
pumping.
The van gets like 8 miles a gallon, so.
And then the other thing we figured
lots of
out
lap time.
is that if I sit in a chair right next to him and do this,
Oh.
then it's easier to hug and connect this way.
Really?
For
it
sure,
really,
than if I'm standing, and it like,
Litchi.
wait, doesn't that like do something for your oxytocin or something?
Yeah, so like
It's like important.
it is important to have that time to connect, like on different levels throughout the day. And it is more difficult for us because I'm in the wheelchair. So even if we're both happy and positive and everything's going fine and dandy, but we're zipping around everywhere with the kids and doing things, then we don't have time to actually physically like connect. Where before, when I would stand, and you know, if I was standing, I could just like wrap my arms around whoever, and have a minute.
Not me, because I didn't know you when you
Yeah,
were
but-
standing.
Like for me, like my love language is physical. So like if I don't have that, then like my attitude and frustrations and fears and all that like surmount, and it's never any good. And then like that's the other part too, I guess, is knowing each other, knowing each other's love languages. If you've never done like that love language thing, where you can figure out what your love language is, that's kind of interesting to do. You can, there's like love tests on there that you can do, and it's pretty cool. But
You surprise yourself when you do those types of things too sometimes. All right, it's 9:58, so let's see. What are we gonna do to wrap it up?
well, we should like, yeah, we have a wrap up, but then we do like a continuation drag on. I'm just kidding.
Dan has a really hard time saying bye to the lives. He just wants to linger. We love you guys, that's why. Andrea, what is your love language? My love language is primarily like words of affirmation and physical touch. Dan's is like 100% physical touch. It like even if I'm just like have my hand on his shoulder while we're going
Yeah,
through a
seriously,
store
it
or
makes a
whatever,
big
like
difference.
or just like
it's-
do this. He's like, oh, okay, she loves me. I'm safe.
It really does make a difference. Like,
Yeah.
I've always been just like, that's the way that I show and receive and feel love, so it's super important. So it's
Yeah.
hard when I don't have that there. So it definitely is for me. For Andrea, like I know that the words of affirmation and things are important to her, so like I try to make sure every day that she knows how beautiful she looks, and tell her how much I love her and all that. Try to set all that at ease, and then also with just the love connection that we have. What's his name?
Stephanie says, yeah, we saw that yesterday. Dan didn't want to say bye to Language 5.0.
No, it's all of you guys.
That
I
was
say,
so nice
but,
yesterday. Man, I really appreciate that. I wasn't on the live, but I mean, I wasn't part of it.
I think it was
I
fun.
had
I was trying to leave,
popped
but
in at the very end and saw that, and we really, really, really appreciate you.
it was everybody on that. There was just a good connection with who we were with the conversations I felt like we had going on. But that's what's hard when you're in that situation. But yeah, and then that didn't help either. But yeah, we really do love you guys. It's been such an honor to be able to be in so many different people's lives and feel like we're trying to, in effect, like come together and grow together and bring something positive to such a dark, crazy world sometimes. So
It's been so cool to be a part of. The comments that we get, man, every day almost we end up in tears at some point. Like I'll either text Dan a comment if we're not together, or read it out loud, or he'll send me something or whatever. And man, it's just incredible to. We had it yesterday. We had a 19-year-old on YouTube make a comment saying that her dad had passed away, and like she hadn't graduated high school, and she was really just feeling like hopeless and depressed, and like she doesn't even have a diploma, so her life's not going anywhere. And she said that after seeing one of our videos that she, like, I'm gonna get out of bed tomorrow for you. And it's just like unbelievable. And then I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted. I think it was a few days ago. I don't know. It's all a blur. But with the Brian, a viewer on YouTube as well, on one of our lives, he had mentioned that he had lost his hand in a work accident a couple years ago, and had basically given up on himself and given up on his sons. And after coming across our videos, he had decided to like rejoin his life and be there for himself and for his kids, and had been now back to work for 7 months, which like is just incredible. Like that doesn't just affect him, it doesn't just affect his kids, that like that could affect generations of people.
It's such an honor to be able to feel like there's an effect and a connection to, like, who knows what, with the butterfly effect, if you're familiar with that term. Like every day is like we're just so blown away with this opportunity we have with, and I swear that's part of the reason why the growth is here like it has been. It's just been unreal, and we're not here for us. I think we're here for everybody else, and that's why it's going so well. It's really hard to explain, but
Yeah, super overwhelming in a really, really good way. But definitely beyond what we can fathom half the time. So
oh yeah, did you see Andrea's haircut from the other day? It's not gelled up, but yeah, those who were there for that.
So,
finished
yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of our journey, and thanks for liking and commenting and sharing and being part of our lives. It all helps, and it also helps build this community of positivity and love that we're trying to spread. And it helps us too. Like, it's crazy how much it helps us to have that positivity in our lives. Like,
Oh, and process. Oh, jeez. It's like, yeah. Sorry, you can keep answering, but
yeah, it's just I mean, to have, like, imagine reading thousands of comments, hundreds every day that we can try and get to, that are just like positive. Like, it's like positive affirmations all day, every day. So it really, really builds us as people. It really makes Dan's suffering and pain and the difficulties he experiences as a result of being paralyzed, like, it makes it have a purpose and not just be
I can't
suffering for nothing. So yeah, you guys are amazing. We love you.
remember if that was on the live or if I was just reading that comment yesterday, but somebody made a comment about that, and like, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but like, essentially just the fact that, like, I know it's sucky that you had this accident and that you know, you have your pain and you're in your wheelchair and all this stuff, but like, do you see the other side of it though, where like God's been able to work through you with all this other stuff because of that, and it's absolutely true. Like it's like, and we talk about that every once in a while. There's even people, you know, that say they have ways to make my pain stop, and which I'm still in full pursuit of anytime. But we joke about, it's like, well, crap, if we don't have our story to work on and keep going, then like
We're not gonna be helping
yeah,
people.
what are we gonna be doing? So, no, I definitely love to be out of the pain. Like it never stops. I think there was a girl on there yesterday, Jenny. It was really cool for me to be able to connect to other people that have the adhesive arachnoiditis, because it's like such a rare thing to understand the struggle that is to be in pain nonstop, and you don't see it. Like I'm sitting here jovial and happy and blessed with this life that I have, but like
I can feel his
constantly
legs going like this, which is just jolting him in pain every second.
So
He handles it really well.
I try. Yeah, it's nice when there's distraction too. Like it pulls you outside of that, which is really important too.
Yeah.
Because if I sit there and think about it, like I get in a whirl of pain and in a whirl of stress or anxiety, just feeling that pain and knowing that it's not going anywhere, and like it's always going to be there, and that it just only goes up.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go much lower than where it's at right now. So yeah, it's just great.
So I want to end on that, on a note that Dan just said, that like we do try and, well, we pray every day that we can put messages out there that somebody needs to hear. So just our testimony is that if you keep God at the head of all things and surrender your life to Him, which we've both always believed in God and had faith in Him, but I think after the trauma that we both experienced 10 years ago or 9 years ago, it made it kind of forced us to like fully surrender to God and realize that He's in control and He has a plan, and it's much bigger than anything that we can think of. So if you are in a situation where you're struggling, surrender to God, like fall to your knees, bring it to Him, and just know that like He has a much bigger plan than you can even fathom. And
That's the other side. Yeah, we need to. It would be good to talk about and spend some time on like people only know us as now, like the life that I was living before my accident, like is entirely different than where we're at now, and it was
yeah,
like if you're in a hard point in life or feel like you can't change, or that I don't know, that there's better, that you feel like there's better opportunity, or that you can do yourself better, like get that little bit of hope and run with it, because yeah, I was definitely very self-serving and had a different lifestyle before, and you can change and
life's not,
make things good
yeah,
again.
and that
So,
it doesn't mean life's perfect or free of trials or easy by any stretch of the imagination, but when you have God in the picture, you can get through it easier because you have the promptings of the Spirit to kind of assure you that you're in the right spot at the right time and things are gonna work out even if they're super hard in the moment. So anyways, we hope you guys have a great Wednesday and hope to see you here next Wednesday. Again, right now we have it open to everybody. We are going to be doing our Wednesday lives for just subscribers on Instagram and members on YouTube. So if you want to go to our main pages and click the subscribe button or the join button, that would be awesome. Again, it helps our family out, and then you also get access to different things. We will answer your messages in priority of anyone else, which makes a difference where we're getting like thousands of messages a day these days. It makes your comments stand out. If you private message us, we'll see it sooner. And yeah.
It seems like on the videos, on the things lately, like when I noticed, like with Ann, with a couple of the people that you normally comment, like on a video, their comments are all like right up there at the top when we go to view it, versus
Yeah, I
like
think
blended into all of.
yeah, I think it
blended
shows
into
them at
rest
the
of
top. Yeah, but we
So-
can also filter to only show us member comments, which I do every day to make sure that we're getting to everybody that's a member.
So
So
yeah, if you're, yeah,
it takes a lot of time to go through comments and answer them. So if you have, anyway, it's great. It's great for us. We think it's good for you. You get a little badge by your name that shows that you're a member of our community here. So
yeah.
anywho,
Join
we gotta
early
go.
on.
We have a Christmas party to get to, but we love you
Alright,
guys.
yeah.
Thanks for being here. Have a great day.